Just a quick update here on Friday. It is going to be a very hot day and dry for the most part. There is a chance of a strong shower or thunderstorm late this afternoon or evening, so I'll be on the lookout out for that, but that's pretty isolated. Now, tomorrow and the next day, we have a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs today, in the upper 90s, we have a heat advisory in effect. Through the weekend, we'll be in the low to mid 90s, depending on how much moisture gets involved and how much rain. It's going to be hot and humid, though. Both days feel up near 100 or more degrees. Early next week, we start to dry up a little bit through midweek with highs again around mid and maybe even upper 90s by Wednesday before we get a cold front to usher in cooler air next week. And we'll see that pretty quickly here. As I go through the maps, you can see, that we look pretty dry today. But by Saturday late afternoon, we see these showers and storms showing up, especially just a little bit north of here. You're going to see on the forecast for the rain amounts that we're kind of in a little bit of a dry slot because these storms are kind of moving more west to east. That tends to give us a little bit of downsloping and dryness here. So you're going to see that in the outlook of the precip amounts for the week. And by Monday, it looks like we're drying up, and Tuesday for sure. So here we are still staying dry and hot through Wednesday. Still hot and dry, but here comes the front that's going to bring in the relief. That could come into some strong showers and storms on Thursday, but also temperatures will get knocked back starting on Thursday. Highs in the mid-80s. Still pretty humid that day. Before the front finally slowly sags southward, so it's going to take a little bit of time. So maybe even into Friday, we have some showers before this high really brings the cooler air as it shifts slowly eastward and funnels it east of the mountains. You see that with the dipping isobars here. So Friday is still struggling a little bit, but then we get into our Saturday and Sunday. This looks just great. And it gets a little bit reinforced there. And we stay kind of cool for several days before here comes the southerly winds again as the high shifts off. So by the following week, we already start warming up. It's pretty far off, but that's a pretty good chance of rain there. If this comes true, we'll have to see. Not really relying too much that this is all correct at this point. But if so, that's a pretty good shot of rain that we would have in here. And we're going to need it. We're going to get pretty dry here over the next week or so, just without rain. But, I do think we'll get some rain by Thursday, if not tomorrow and the next day. All right, so here we're looking at the rain totals. Well, I'll look at that in a minute. Let's look at the overall maximum temperatures. I do think it's good to see it on the national level just to see how hot we are. Here again, today, highs in the upper 90s. Things through the weekends will be in the low to mid 90s pretty much, and then even into next week. Look, this is really hot. Highs in the mid and upper 90s. This is Wednesday. So I went really fast, but the daily highs you saw were pretty much in the mid 90s. It's not until Thursday where we see things start to cool down. So, again, this is showing the 24-hour max temperatures by Friday. Much cooler. Highs in the 80s maybe. For sure. Maybe even 70s. Is that possible? We'll have to see. We just have to see how strong this is. I suspect that, although this looks amazing with the weather and cooler temperatures, that maybe as we approach it won't be quite as cold. We'll have to see if that's the truth. Then we go through the weekend with temperatures, okay, but by the following week, like I said, temperatures will warm back up to around 80 or 90. And then if we get that rain in here, it'll obviously cool us down. So we'll have to see if that comes true. All right, so overall, how much rain are we expected over the next 7 days? Well, if we look at the forecast from the Weather Prediction Center, and we focus on the region, first of all, let's look for excessive rain over the next couple of days. Just a very marginal risk for that. But over the next 7 days, we go local and look at how much rain we can get. You can see that a little bit of, like I said, a drying as these winds are west to east. Tends to dry us up a little bit. Still, maybe a half an inch to an inch of rain is not out of the question over the next 7 days. And of course, we get some showers and storms over our heads. It's going to be a lot more. All right, so stay cool. Check on your friends and neighbors or whatever, and give people plenty of water if they're outside. And stay cool if you can. This is being your Loud Cutting with Outlet.